So Final Fantasy VII. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII.
I thought it looked shitty.
They announced that they are, what is it? A remake, a reboot,
Yes, remake.
a re-release. They're calling it a remake.
Remake from the ground up.
You know what? I never played the original Final Fantasy VII because I didn't like RPGs in the 90s. When I was a little kid, that was the one genre of game I never enjoyed playing. So as much as I heard praise for Final Fantasy VII, I never played it.
Yeah.
I still don't think I'm going to play this new one.
Well, the gameplay is different now, which is interesting.
Different?
It is action RPG based. It is actually real time.
Then I might play it.
Slashing away,
So
stuff like that,
when you say,
which is interesting.
When you say action RPG, that means they don't freeze the battle.
Nope.
You are fighting enemies. You can still collect experience.
Oh
level
yeah,
up.
all the RPG elements are there.
You can
Leveling
still-
up,
You can
and
change
getting,
your weapons, your armor, acquire new skills.
But when you fight them, you just like Zelda.
It's real time. Like the battle will start. It will go. You're in a battle,
Okay.
but it's from what it looks like from what we've seen, it doesn't stop and you're doing menu items. It's running up and you're hacking.
It
and
was
slashing.
turn-based before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It
now,
was
is this-
stop and go,
Is this
yeah.
much like the Final Fantasy 12 battle system?
No, it is running on the 15 engine.
Oh.
It plays like that.
It
is,
plays like
you are
15.
slashing away and stuff
Okay,
like that.
cool.
Yes.
Wow.
So and
Is it now? You said that they're going to change the story too. Is that true?
no one knows for sure. What they showed in this trailer that came out yesterday was actually pretty note for note the story of Final Fantasy VII. So right now it looks the same. They said in interviews like there might be a change here and there, but I think the main thing they're going for is remaking the story that everyone loves.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're remaking it while making it a new game at the same time. And I think that might be a good thing just in terms of, because we are living in a time where, there's a remaster of this and all this other stuff. Now, it's rare that we have a ground-up remake like this.
Right.
But at the same time, I can appreciate that they're going, but we're kind of treating this like our new game, too. Here's the story that you want. The whole reason anybody wants a remake of the game is not because the old game sucked or anything. It's because it's contained in this PlayStation 1 blocky nightmare. It's hard to play and all this other stuff. So they're remaking it, and it's going to look great. And I'm kind of, part of me, so half of me is really happy that they are not only making it look pretty, but they are making it kind of a new game instead of just going, here's a new coat of paint on it, new game,
Right.
So I kind of like that. At the same time, I also know that people just want them to remake the same shit that they already played.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if when that comes out, it's going to be a case of, you overthought this.
Now,
I don't know.
Like I said, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about this as I do about when they remake movies, which is,
Sure.
I think it's unnecessary. I feel like there's a charm to, if you want to play Final Fantasy VII, play it on a PlayStation, and it looks like a PlayStation game. That's what people fell in love with. That's what the game is.
Yeah.
If they're changing the story and if they're changing the gameplay, you could argue that this isn't even Final Fantasy VII.
Sure.
I mean, the argument is there just to make a new game, but I'm not going to get into that. But ultimately, I feel like the same way I feel with movies, which is progress. Just go forward. Don't stop looking back and reaching into the past and bringing back stuff that worked in the past.
Sure.
Let it be and do something new.
Well,
but let me say,
it's
I said
guaranteed
before,
cash, though.
it is.
That's why they're doing it.
Well,
Which
nostalgia.
I guess is good. For
If they
them.
made
makes nothing
Business-wise,
difference to
yeah.
me.
If they made a Zelda game that looks like what we've seen of the new one that has been delayed 1,000 times, if they made that graphics of Ocarina of Time, I'd be super stoked.
Yeah.
And I would play it.
And that's the one thing, because I agree with you mostly in general, in a general sense about everything. But why I feel a little differently with video games is because, some of these games are, it's hard to play them. Some of the, going back now, it's hard to play a lot of them with today's hardware or with whatever. It's a little difficult, and Final Fantasy is one of those games that, again, wouldn't even use the stick.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of control it, but there's an amazing story there. It's just hard by today's standards of games to try.
I'll do a counterpoint.
So I could see why a remake is an exciting thing.
I'll do a counterpoint. When we were doing our Castlevania skit, I remember I started watching playthroughs of Castlevania 2, and it was really fun, and it even made me want to play Castlevania 2. But that game sucks and is broken. And there are things in it where, you have to go through invisible walls. There's stuff that you could not do in a video game today. They straight up, go into an area and hold down for 10 seconds. That's the only way to progress in the game. And if you don't know how to do that, you're fucked. And at the time when that came out, there was no fucking way you'd ever figure out how to do that.
Call the Nintendo helpline.
But still, I think it's charming in that it's a product of its time. And if I want to play Castlevania 2, I want that version of it. And I wouldn't want a remade, high-quality, high-def version of it. Same thing, I can go back and play the original Mega Man, the original Zelda. And I don't need like an HD remake of it. I think there's a certain charm to playing it how it like it's a time capsule piece.
Yeah.
But I never was into Final Fantasy, so I can't say what it's like to be a fan and say like, yes, finally, my favorite game is back on the market.
Yeah.
I don't have that experience, so I don't, I can't hold it against people who are into it.
My personal whatever is my favorite is Final Fantasy IV. There's 7 isn't even my favorite. But I wouldn't even want a remake of 4. 4 is this cute little pixel game, and I don't want it to change. I'm on that page. I don't want it to change at all. 7 was a game that was really transitionary, where the polygons almost didn't look like people, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? Even 8 was on PlayStation 1, but they were fully formed, whatever. There's no reason to remake that. 7 is in this weird phase. I see what you mean, too, and I definitely see that side of it. But I'm stoked on a remake because it really is in that phase of, it doesn't really, it's hard to look at. That being said, I do also agree with the charm of playing the original. I don't think this remake replaces the original.
Yeah.
At any point. But I like that there's going to be 2 versions.
Well,
of
that's
it.
the
I
thing,
like that.
is like, I see also what you're saying, but they're not touching. You still play that game. You still play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So what's the harm in this? I mean, they're gonna make money, sure, and people are gonna be excited. So like, if you don't want to play it, then don't.
Yeah, I think too, but I also think too, there is a danger because, Final Fantasy VII Remake goes really successful. I don't want developers to stop working on
Maybe you'll
new
get
games.
Final Fantasy IV Remake.
Which
I
don't want that. Yeah.
Maybe we
so there's
will
a slippery slope nature to it.
Maybe we will get Legend of Zelda 1 Remake
Yeah.
in HD, and it's like, well, I've been playing that game for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think, last thing I would say is when this new Final Fantasy game comes out, you're going to have people saying, this is not as good as the old one.
Absolutely.
And on the other side, you're going to have people saying, this is better than the old one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be a single person that says to themselves, I got the old one. It's the same game.
Yeah.
But it's exactly the same, but I enjoy it
If
more.
they were smart, or maybe, I don't know, how's this? If they were awesome, they would have that game on there as well, because how much fucking space would that take up on that disc?
So, on that note,
Wow.
the original one is up now. You can download it on your PS4 now, and I don't know if you heard about this.
No.
It went up. So yesterday, PlayStation.
I have the version on PS3
Yeah.
and and Vita.
So what they released yesterday was on, and I when they announced this, I didn't think it was any big deal, but they announced, okay, the original Final Fantasy VII is up right now. It is the remastered version of the PC version.
Oh.
And it's up right now. And I wasn't really planning on getting that. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to replay that anytime soon. My brother got it, and I checked it out. It is so... Okay, again, I said all the stuff I did about the PS1 version of the game. It is
PC version, though.
It is so crisp and as high resolution as you can get. I mean, even though everyone looks like shit,
does it
it's
convert
so
to
crisp.
widescreen?
No, it's not widescreen. It's the same as it was.
Okay.
But it looks so crisp and clear, and it's got all these fun hacks on it to where click down on the left stick and it goes into fast forward mode where you can just walk through a bunch of shit.
Wow.
And go really fast through stuff. If you click down on the right stick, that's the cheater button. And if you're in a battle, if you hit that, everybody's stats go all the way up and your limit breaks are already and whatever. Or you can turn it off. Yeah. And it's great. Right now, this week only, I guess, it's $10. And you get that, and they give you a theme, a PS4 theme for the remake. And I didn't think I was ever going to get anything to turn off my PlayStation 20th anniversary
I've got
theme.
that 20th anniversary.
This new theme has cloud and all kinds of stuff, and it changes the sound effects of your system to the Final Fantasy sound effects.
Garrett's got a problem.
It is so awesome.
Got a problem.
Anyway,
I got to spend $10 tomorrow.
So I was going to say
shit,
all those flaws that I mentioned with the old version, a lot of them are really remedied with this remake because it uses the stick, it uses all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty good. Anyway, if you
and then get the other new one.
Yeah. But what I like about it the most, though, is I can stream it. And I can stream it from home. And so I did that last night for like 45 minutes. I turned it on. And I was just doing commentary. I remember this scene. Oh, man, this cutscene was mind-blowing when it came out. It was really fun. It was really cool. So if you want to play the old one, it is out and it's only $10 and you get a lot of stuff from it. So I say check that out. And the remake could go either way. Who knows? But at least you got this.
Now you have this on your PS4, so who cares?
Exactly.
I will check that out. $10 sounds worth it.
Yeah,
to me.
I think it'll be a little bit more later, but right now it's.
And I do feel like I never got that experience on the PC, but I always heard that is hands down the best way to play that game.
I think so. Yeah.
And you've really got me keyed in on this fast forward thing, because a lot of that game is just the minutia of an old PS1 RPG.
Yeah, it was fun. I was playing everything at normal speed, but then when there's a part where it's like, oh no, evacuate the castle or
just
the
walk through the
reactor,
stores.
And it was like, yeah, okay, and so it's just speed that up. I've played it a million times. So.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so they announced all that stuff at the PlayStation Experience.
I didn't watch the new trailer, by the way.
Yeah, new trailer's cool. There's gameplay in it and stuff.
And should I stay away
it's
until
not Star Wars.
No, I would check it out.
I know it's not Star Wars. Star Wars is too
You
close.
see the opening of the game. It's really cool. Yeah.
Okay,
you see Biggs and Wedge and Jesse and all that. It's really
Speaking
cool.
of Star Wars.
Yeah, speaking of that.
I will check that out then. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. So the PlayStation Experience, they showed all that stuff.